Goodfellow Air Force Base welcomed Colonel Andres Nazario, commander of the 17th Training Wing, on June 28, 2019. Colonel Nazario has had the opportunity to train and instruct as an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance officer at Goodfellow and plans to continue the growth of the 17th Training Wing. I'm Senior Airman Soraya Wolf, and this is Airmen and Cars Getting Smoothies. So what was the original name for the base? We have Goodfellow Field, San Angelo Air Corps Basic Flying School, Mathis Field, or Goodfellow Air Corps Basic Flying School.
The last one.
It's actually B.
By the way, these are all trick questions.
When it was renamed, who was it named after?
I'm hoping I get this one right.
Second Lieutenant Joseph J. Goodfellow Jr., First Lieutenant John J. Goodfellow Jr., First Lieutenant Joseph J. Goodfellow, or Second Lieutenant John J. Goodfellow?
All right, here's the great news. I know it was a first lieutenant.
So you've got First Lieutenant John J. Goodfellow Jr., or the other First Lieutenant is First Lieutenant Joseph J. Goodfellow.
It's John J. Goodfellow Jr.
Yes.
Yes, I win.
That is correct. This pilot trained at Goodfellow Air Force Base and went on to create a popular sci-fi franchise. Who was it? George Lucas, Mel Brooks, Gene Roddenberry, or Ridley Scott?
I know this one only because somebody whispered it to me.
There's no words around.
And I think the answer is the weird last name.
The weird last name, Roddenberry?
Roddenberry, yes.
Gene Roddenberry, yes.
Yes!
So, Colonel Nazario, we kind of talked about this previously, but this isn't your first time at Goodfellow, is it?
No, it's my third time at that Goodfellow.
Third time at Goodfellow. Yes. So, what was the previous times that you were here at Goodfellow? What were you stationed here for?
My first time over here was as a student in 1997. My class started on May 4th. You always remember those little details. Then I left. So my second time here, I actually volunteered to come back to be an instructor, here, and I spent here 3 years, from 2003 to 2006. Multiple jobs. The most rewarding was obviously being the flight commander of the intelligence officer training flight at the time. You know, you talk about shaping the next generation. I've lived that.
Yes.
And then now I get the opportunity to come back as the wing commander or wing servant, as I'd like to say.
From the time that you were first here as a student, and then you came back as the instructor, and then you've come back again, what changes have you noticed at Goodfellow itself?
The biggest change to me is the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So culturally, we are geared towards our main mission, but most importantly, I get this positive vibe from everyone that I interact with at Goodfellow, regardless of jobs, regardless of functions. Everybody seems to be happy about what they do here at Goodfellow. Everybody seems to have found their purpose and their why in their jobs. And as one of the leaders on base, that fills me with joy, knowing that we have that kind of workforce that is truly dedicated to the main mission of the base.
So, what changes do you hope to see within the next 2 years in your tenure here as the wing servant, as you'd like to put it?
That to me is a very, very interesting question, but I'm not going to answer it.
Okay.
I am not going to answer it from this perspective. I don't think we should think in terms of 2 years. I think as a wing leadership team, we owe you, and we owe you, thinking beyond 2 years in our time of command, thinking about the 5, the 10-year plan. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you in passing before, but I'm very clear. I want to create and establish the 17th Training Wing as a global knowledge distribution center for lifelong learning and development for the Air Force ISR community. our special instructors, our special instrument airmen, our firefighters, and our joint partners. That to me is where we need to go. So we're not being passive about this, but we're also not thinking in terms of 2 years.
2 years.
That's the wrong time frame.
Yeah.
We're thinking about how does that allow us to bridge to the future. We're looking at all these activities that will get us to the campus of the future, to the Goodfellow of the future, to a global knowledge distribution center for lifelong learning and development.
Well, Colonel Nazario, I just want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come down here and answer some questions with us. It's been wonderful talking with you.
I appreciate the questions and the time you spent with me.
Well, we really appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Senior Airman Sarai Wolf, and this is Airmen and Cars Getting Smoothies.